Disney Plus wants to know, are you ready? For Marvel Studios' Thunderbolts, The New Avengers, now streaming on Disney Plus.
Let's do this.
One of the best Marvel movies of all time is now streaming on Disney Plus.
Hey, you weren't listening to me.
I said Thunderbolts, The New Avengers is now streaming on Disney Plus.
Meet the New Avengers.
That's a cool name.
Marvel Studios' Thunderbolts, The New Avengers, rated PG-13, now streaming on, you guessed it, Disney Plus.
Whether your business has 6 floors or 6 employees, Walmart Business has everything you need to save time, money, and hassle. You can restock your break room with bulk ordering or bulk up your ordering team with shared payments. And you can get it all delivered straight to your business's door, whether that's on Wall Street or Main Street. Walmart Business. It's the Walmart you love, now for your business. Learn more at business.walmart.com.
AI is incredible. It can teach you how to fry an egg and even write a poem, pirate style. Yarr! But it knows nothing about your work. Slackbot is different. It doesn't just know the facts. It knows your schedule. It can turn a brainstorm into a brief. And it doesn't need to be taught. Because Slackbot isn't just another AI. It's AI that knows your work as well as you do. Visit slack.com/meet Slackbot to learn more.
This episode is brought to you by Beneful. Dogs of the world, lend me your ears, snoots, and little toe beans. We've been sitting and staying for boring food for too long. It's time to demand high-quality ingredients, fresh from the pantry. Together with Beneful freshly prepared meals, we can start a mealtime revolution. Can I get a woof woof? Kick boring in the bowl with Beneful freshly prepared meals. Visit Purina.com/Beneful to shop now.
It's Deprogram, the podcast where we try to get you into a band. That's right. We've done all the work for you. All you have to do is press play and listen. My name is Justin, and you can call me Band Curious because I am indeed curious about bands. Sometimes they're just artists, not bands. Sometimes they're bands, or they're artists that have bands. We'll get into all that. But what we like to do is I get my friends together. We talk about an artist, and coming out on the other side of that is a top 10 starter kit for you to get into the artist that we're going to be talking about today. And I'm not going to come up with anything clever because I ain't no crazy horse. We're talking about Neil Young today, and this feels like a big one to finally get off the board. But last time you were here, Randy, like you almost immediately said, Neil Young, we got to do it. So talk to me about Neil Young.
I'm surprised we hadn't already done it years ago. I think what was holding us back was that he pulled everything from Spotify for a couple of years. So it's like, okay, well, that makes it a little more difficult to do because you run the whole lists and everything through Spotify. So, and then just looking at it, I'm like, this is a big artist, one of the great songwriters of all time. And yeah, of course we should be doing it. I mean, it's Neil Young. He's the godfather of grunge. He wears so many different hats that
literally and
makes him such. Yes, very much figuratively. That it just spans so much of his discography. I mean, if you go through how many albums he actually puts out, we could do legitimately a 5-part series on everything that he's put out, because he has, I think it's 50 studio records or near 50 studio records, which is just insane. That is 5 lifetimes of discogs for an artist. And he does it at such a high level. He's such a particular songwriter. He has great lyrics. I mean, he's a great musician as well. And he incorporates all different musicians into his music, and every album that he does definitely takes a different mentality or a different sonic identity and mixes it in. When it's Crazy Horse, you know that it's going to be lo-fi, it's going to be heavy rock. When it's, he was doing some of the country stuff, he's going to have some backup singers on that. He's been doing stuff with the Chrome Hearts recently. Hell, we got to mention it because the three people that are on this panel, yep, he did an album with Pearl Jam, even though they were not listed in the liner notes because that was against the record company. But Mirrorball, a great 90s Neil Young record, obviously biased on that, but he's worked with so many different people, collaborated with Jack White a couple of years ago to record in this 1930s booth that, basically nobody on earth owns aside from Jack White. So he's just one of the absolute living legends that we still have around. And I mean, you go through his catalog here, we'll talk about what we decided to use for this episode, and I'll make my argument on whether or not this will be the last Neil Young episode. I know we haven't done part twos in a while, but this one may be an exception. I might need to do some convincing on it, but I mean, personally, I lived with this. I lived with Neil Young's music from the time I escaped the womb, and I was, hearing Harvest and everybody knows this is Nowhere, but it's also like, lest I forget to mention Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young and Buffalo Springfield. Like, he has done so much work outside of just his solo work that, I mean, it's really incredible what he's put together. And when you think of songs that he's written for those bands, they're not on this list, even though they are some of the best songs that he's written, like Ohio and Helpless and some of those other ones that CSNY had. But, this will be a really interesting list to determine because we did about 100 songs on it, and you'll get to see a lot of different sounds and a lot of different characteristics of Neil. So I'm excited to get into it, but there's going to be so many incredible songs to discuss and decide whether or not they're deserving of this list.
So Randy just mentioned so many songs. Like, I feel like the last time you were here, we were on Nail Biter 2, My Morning Jacket, Patrick. So talk to me about, you step back into Deprogrammed, and now it's yet another like monster catalog, monster artist. Talk to me about Neil Young.
So I think the thing with Neil is that particularly the era that we're going to be talking about, which is, we'll call it his prime. There's certainly things that happen post the time frame that we're looking into, but he's arguably, if not the best, the closest you could say that he drops is second best in terms of prolific output, and not just like quantity, but quality of output in the late 60s through the 70s. He does not have a miss in there. Some things are brighter than others, but it is not a catalog that has any slop in it, and that makes it very tough. At the same time, there are things that rise to the occasion in order to get, to bring people on board to understand who he is. It's that balance between, I want you to understand and know Neil Young, and potentially throwing somebody a curveball and saying, hey, why don't you sit with me for a couple of days and hang out and listen to On the Beach? That maybe that, there's variations of angles that you can go with. And that breadth and depth of his catalog, and where he went from the heights of something like Harvest into his, what was so-called the Ditch series, the Ditch series of albums, most musicians would kill to have one of those, let alone three. And he then follows that up with a prolific run with Crazy Horse in the mid to late 70s, and it's just a very, very eclectic and well put together time period for him where he's just flourishing, and the words come off of his pen and the notes come off of the guitar in a way that is just incredibly profound, and we're lucky to be alive at the same time that he's graced the world with the plethora of music that he has.
So, Brian, I again on Randy's last episode, Randy says Neil Young, and you're immediately like, yeah, like I have to be here. So, this feels like one of the big ones that you somehow didn't miss, if I'm reading into the conversation correctly.
Yeah, this is I saw him on the list like, years ago. And Neil Young is in like my top 10 like favorite artists of all time. And I'm like, it was the same thing like where I kind of like where I saw like Pink Floyd on there, but I was like, nah. Because like I love them too much and it's impossible to break up their discography. And even this was like, no, Neil Young is way too big, like Randy said, there's almost 50 studio albums. Like I'm like, there's no way to like do this justice. Like, but and even when we were putting the list together, I was like, well, let's do like 370s and 390s albums. Cause like, when I think of like the three like 90s albums that I'm like big in, I'm like, oh well, how can we not have this? How can we not have this? But so it was just such a big undertaking. That I was kind of like, but then like if you ask me flat out, like, are you gonna do this? Like, of course I'm gonna do it. And Neil Young, I mean, there's not much more you could say. He's just absolutely legendary. I don't usually tell like my discovery story, but because of the panel that I'm on, I discovered Neil Young when I was 13 years old on a night in October at the Video Music Awards. And that was when I discovered Neil Young. When he came out and played Rockin' in the Free World with Pearl Jam, who had just absolutely tore the place apart by playing their new song Animal. And I was like, oh crap. And when I was 13, like I couldn't really get into like the older stuff, but I definitely got into like the 90s stuff that did have like that grunge sound to it. And then I discovered later that okay, he has that sound earlier in his career as well. And I got Mirror Ball just like every other good Pearl Jam fan. And it's like I said, it's just like an encompassing thing. Like Neil Young was the first country artist I ever liked. He was also like the first folk musician that I ever liked. He was also like the first like classic rock artist I ever liked. So like
probably the first rockabilly artist you ever liked too.
Yeah, like, and then when you listen to the old stuff, and you're 13, 14, and you're rocking out to like Vitology, and then you listen to like Live Rust or something, you're like, oh shit, this is apples to apples. So like, and it just took over my world. And then as I got older, I got into the more focused country stuff. And I mean, Neil Young has something for everybody. Like no matter pretty much like what you like, Neil Young can find you.
That is kind of the great thing about him as an artist, for sure. It makes it like something like this a bitch, and we'll get into that in a moment. But I mean, of course, this is an artist like I'm aware of. I'm not blind to Neil. How could you be a man of my age and not know who he is? Like you can understand, like, he didn't hit me the same way that he hit all you guys. So like I never did any kind of dive on him, but like it's kind of, I kind of liken it to when we did Paul Simon last year, Randy. It's like he's a guy who's just always there. You know what I mean? Like just always there. Anytime I heard a Neil Young song, I was like, oh yeah, man, that's cool. I like that. Oh, cool. Neil Young. Neat. And you know, I never bought the records, never did the dive on Spotify. So like he always found my ear, but never enough for me to like make the dive. So let's talk about the dive. Obviously, as you mentioned, it's 50 records. We can't cover all that. Like it's impossible. We had to start trimming down immediately. And our version of trimming down came out to like 99 songs. And you said it was still kind of short, but you were finally content. So talk to me about the massive undertaking of trying to fit Neil Young into 99 songs, and then talk to me how you put your list together.
Yeah, I mean, it's impossible. Like, you just kind of had to stick to one time period. So it wasn't like, oh, well, we're getting rid of Tonight's the Night for Harvest Moon. And like, you just can't do a lot of that. Like, I feel that's why I really want to do a part two, because I feel like his, midlife career, late 80s into the 90s, early 2000s, is just as prolific and honestly, in some cases, a lot different. But yeah, you just couldn't say no to any of it. And then I realized that, oh, yeah, there's a bunch of songs off of Decade that aren't album songs, like Sugar Mountain and Winterlong and a couple of those other ones. And I'm just like, these need to be included as well. And yes, when you have that many songs that are candidates for this huge thing, and you knock it down to 20, it's tough. I had an easy and difficult time all at the same time, because I had so many songs that I was just like, yeah, no doubt, of course. And it came down to like 14 or 15 songs that were absolute. I wasn't even gonna, take an argument on these. And then it was the other songs that were like, these are great songs, but how do I want to disperse these? And the one album that I had a lot of trouble with was actually Harvest. Great album, as Patrick was saying, Ditch album. And I have tons from the other two Ditch albums, but the yeah, that was a tough one, because everything was like at the same peak, and I couldn't make a decision on which of the bunch I should take over, because I only had two, and then today I had to make, the final cuts. I had two songs left, and I'm like, one of them needs to be a Harvest song, because I'm not sitting here only, using two songs from Harvest. That's just not fair. So I literally put them into a random name generator, spun a wheel, and that was my pick, because yeah, they were all on the same level. So it was extremely difficult, and I wish that there were some of those albums, because those three are just incredible. I mean, that's, over half my list right there. But some of those albums, I had to take like one song to represent. I don't think I represented every album. I think I might have left one, maybe two albums out, just because I had to disperse it. And it's like, well, you can't leave this out, you can't leave this out, and you just gotta, there was one record where I was like, I can absolutely not take something from, and I was disappointed that I only took one song from it. But that's just what happens when you have a list and a catalog that is as, grand as this. So yeah, a lot of tough decisions on this one, and a lot of songs from my end that I'm like, uh, maybe more the hit songs that maybe I said, well, it's I don't hate them. I love them just as much as everything else, but these other songs are like part of the soundtrack to my life. I can't say no to these.
Mm. So, I mean, Randy was just speaking to the depth of these 99 songs, but I don't recall you chiming in too much about your process, Patrick. Like, being, again, My Morning Jacket was a good couple years ago. Did you kind of take the same approach here, or is this like a different artist, different approach?
It probably ended up being sort of the same, but from a different angle. My approach with Jacket was more about trying to really take it from somebody that spent more time specifically with the studio records. That was my experience of My Morning Jacket for so long. With Neil, it was really about looking at it and saying, do I want to try to create a list that is going to please me? Or am I going to want to try to create a list that's going to make people get interested in all of his music and give a little bit of flavor where I can? So I kind of separated my top songs into two tiers. The ones that I think really belong on a list to bring people into Neil Young's archive, and a second list that probably would be like my personal, like, here's my 10-song mixtape that I would give to someone and say, listen to Neil Young, knowing that that is a little bit different. And so I kind of looked at it about what are really like building block Neil Young songs. And so in that top 10, I have 3 that I think I couldn't possibly let go. And about the other 7 are ones that are, absolutely great, but I don't feel like if I switched them with my second tier that I would feel like people were losing out on things. It's that kind of mix. I didn't have the same problem cutting that I think others had. I kind of was like, I know what I want, and I know what I think makes sense. So I'm interested to see how this all plays out, whether there's a very good interweave or if it is completely off base with what everybody else is thinking.
Well, only one way to find out, right? So, Bryan, being that this is like a pillar for you, this is probably one that you were kind of thinking about all along. Did you kind of already have a list going in, or, I mean, it seemed like you were having trouble.
Yeah, well, I had trouble because I can't count. And I made too many cuts. I only had 19, which I didn't find out till I wrote them down today. Or like 10 minutes before we started. No, this was tough, and I struggled with Harvest. So my top 3 Neil Young albums are Harvest, On the Beach, and Ragged Glory, which is not in here, but that's fine. So it's tough. I'm like, okay, well, I can't just take all of Harvest and On the Beach. Although, honestly, that's what you should be listening to if you want to get into Neil Young. So, it was tough. It was tough. I took like what I thought would, there are a couple songs, maybe not like too controversial, that I thought, okay, well, they'll get in whether I pick them or not, which is a dangerous game. To play. But then I was like, okay, well, like I had some kind of gameplay, although I never really met Patrick before. Like, I only kind of knew him because like we listened to like a couple of the same podcasts. So like I was like, can I just play this as like a Pearl Jam fan, and like, or can I just play this as like a folk fan, or how do I play this? And in the end, I decided that I'm just gonna do what I usually do. And then these are all songs that I think like everybody who wants to get into Neil Young should listen to.
Instagram teen accounts have automatic protections for what teens see and who can contact them. plus time management tools. And Instagram will continue adding built-in safety features to help create age-appropriate experiences. Learn more about teen accounts and Instagram's ongoing work to protect teens online at instagram.com/teenaccounts.
Hey everybody, welcome to your 30-second laughing session brought to you by The Laughing Cow. Ready to laugh? In 3, 2, 1, and... Okay! Great job, everybody! Now unpeel a wedge of The Laughing Cow light spreadable cheese, a delicious snack with 2 grams of protein and 25 calories per wedge. Feels good to have a cow, huh?
So, I'll say it. I feel like this is going to be an unmitigated disaster. In all the best ways. Like, because, like, I feel like as I was going through my first pass, like, I didn't feel like I was plucking out that many. And it was just because I was enjoying it. I was just kind of listening to it. And I was like, yeah, okay, cool, yeah. And I got through, and this makes sense. Like 50 something songs on my first pass. I was like, okay, I literally didn't, it's like almost half of what we have available, or just over half really. So I, like Patrick, I got to a point, cause I asked the question early this time. I never do that. We hadn't set a date. And I was like, I'm getting ready to do some cuts. Let me see if I'm even on the right track. Just to kind of see, poll the audience, as it were. And I was like, okay, like I have some of these, and I kept those because obviously I liked them enough to keep them around. And then it just got to a point where I was like, there's nothing I can do where I'm going to be right. Like, I don't think I'm going to be wrong, but this feels like I'm not going to be right. And it's insane to say that 99 songs, and it felt like literally all of them are in play. Like, it didn't feel like there was any that were I could just easily cast aside and say, nobody's picking that. Most of them just kind of came down to, oh man, this was a cool guitar lick. This was, hey, his voice goes up high here. Cool. I'll pick that. There was like a good handful that like were semi-familiar, so I kept those. And then there was a good couple that the first time I heard them on my first pass, I was like, yeah, those. And the rest, I just kind of was like, we'll see. We will see. Because like I said, it very quickly felt like no matter what I do, I'm going to be wrong. Like, not in a people are going to yell at me wrong, but like it does feel like I'm going to get you guys going, oh, a lot.
I think we're all just going to do that to one another.
Yeah. So, I was like, you know what? I'm not fighting this. I'm not going to overthink it, because I also feel like while I may pick songs that are going to go right into the bin, I think you guys will go, yeah, I get that. Like I don't think my 20's wrong. So I was like, I'm not playing the game. I'm just going to go with what hit me. And that's how I got to my 20. That said, to have a 4-person panel on a 99 song list, Randy, like that math is fucked. So
yeah.
Based on everything we've said, how many do you think we get through unanimously?
I really don't know. I like to think that it can be a little optimistic, and my pick won't seem optimistic at all, but I think that there are 3 in there that will find common ground on. Maybe we won't realize that we do find, maybe it'll be one of those songs where it's like, oh yeah, like this wasn't my top song, but it makes sense that it can be on the list.
Mm-hmm.
I think we could get 3. We might get 2, and hell, we could get 4, but 3 feels like enough where it's not pushing it.
Yeah, I get that.
Wow.
Based on what's going on, 3 is off the board. Patrick, what do you think?
I would be shocked if we don't come up with 4 unanimous.
Okay.
I would think that I would be surprised. I think there's going to be more clarity than is believed.
All right. Brian, what do you think? You've done enough of these now.
Shocked at what I'm hearing. I'm literally shocked. I was thinking more like 9. Like, okay.
Oh.
Wow. Okay. I'm gonna say 8. I don't know, man. I was gonna pick 9, but now I'm feeling a little bit down. So
Just a lot of songs.
Yeah, it's just a lot of songs. And if a person,
I know it's a lot of songs, but there's so many. Like, I feel like her home runs. Maybe I'm wrong.
You see, the thing is, I think you're probably right that there's probably 8 or 9 between the 3 of you.
Yeah.
You always got to throw me in there because I don't know all the home runs. You know what I mean? So
that's true. You didn't listen to classic rock radio. You hate classic rock.
Yeah. According to my friends, I hate classic rock. So, man, my inclination is to steal Brian's 9 just to be a shit.
Don't be a shit. Come on, play the game. Play the game. You know it's ridiculous.
I'm gonna, it's sitting there. It does feel like, there might be a couple, like Randy said, that kind of, it does feel like there's probably 3 that are we're just gonna agree on, right? And then there might be like 1 or 2 surprises that give us, cool, thanks for that. 1 or 2 that get us to the 5. 5's available, and I like to take 5 when it's available, so I'm going to take 5. I'll go right down the middle. We're going to take a quick pause, and on the other side, we're going to start playing the game and just see if I'm correct. Unmitigated disaster or glorious chances. We'll see. It's
been a while since I've done a disaster episode, so I'm hoping for it.
We'll be right back. And with that, the name of the game is Deprogrammed, and the 4 of us have combed through a selection of Neil Young's discography and plucked out 20 songs that we're now going to mash together in an attempt to create a top 10 starter kit for you in case you have never given Neil Young the time of day. And I'm going to start here, which is and this is the other thing about, I realized as we were doing it usually I kind of have an idea of how I'm going to play, like, the first couple, it's kind of like curling, like where, what am I going to do? What are my first couple of moves? I didn't have that this go. So I'm going with one of the 2 songs that I was like, yes, for sure, when I first heard them. And I happened to get get it as an answer a couple times when I asked the internet. I'm going to start with Powderfinger.
Yeah.
I don't have that.
Oh.
Wow.
That is in my top 20.
Hey, all right, we'll take a 3 there.
Hell yeah.
A 3 is
that just has this like triumphant, once they get to that moment and his voice raises, I'm like 22 and I don't know what, and that little lick that he does after this, just so good. That's goosebump inducing right there. I love that song. One in my top 5. Like, that was a home run for me.
Hey, all right. I feel good about that because, like I said, that one didn't feel like a home run, but it felt like one I had to have. And there wasn't a ton of those. Like, there was just ones that, I liked versus there was 2 that I felt like I had to have, and this was one of them. So, all right, we'll take a 3 there. Randy.
I'm going to start off pretty easy. I don't know how many we'll get with this. I think that this is a really good shot for a 3. It's, a fairly simple song. It's kind of a country song a little bit, and then it's a title track, and everybody knows This Is Nowhere. It should be easy, right? Oh, what?
I don't have it.
I do not have it.
Let me see if I can see.
Is that really a 1? Oh, this is the kind of disaster I was hoping for. All right, game on. Bring it.
Yeah, I guess I don't. Hold on. Let me put it in the search so I can be sure. Oh my god. You would think I would be better.
Yeah, there was a lot of good stuff on that album. It was hard to.
Yeah, that's the album that I took the most off of.
Oh.
I got plenty more.
Oh yeah. Why am I not seeing it?
It's on the album. Everybody knows This Is Nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, why am I not seeing it on? I must have scrolled past it.
This is not a bit,
okay,
everybody.
Okay. No, it's not
You've
a bit.
learned.
It's not a bit. I have it. I can save you. I can.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Oh, odd. Okay.
I accidentally
two's
scrolled
better than
past
one.
it. Yeah. I mean, in this kind of, I can't read my own handwriting. Firstly, secondly, I scrolled past it like 3 different times on the on my thing. So, all right, we take a 2 there. 2 is still alive and looking like that may be the case here. 2s might be in play. So, Patrick, how do you want to start?
I'm gonna start with what I'm assuming is an obvious one, and it's my number 9 song, and that is Cinnamon Girl.
I got it.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
Hey, okay.
I had a feeling that this would be one of the unanimous for sure.
I wasn't sure. Like, I wasn't sure if anybody was going to try to be cute on it, or if, I didn't know what actual Neil Young fans think of the song. I know it's
classic.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, this is one of those grunge songs from the 70s.
I think the Pumpkins covered it at one point. I'm pretty sure a bunch of 90s bands did, but like...
Well, did they write a song that intentionally ended up being it with Neil? Pearl Jam did.
Hey. Billy Corgan wishes he could be Neil Young. I love the Pumpkins. I love Billy Corgan, but like Neil Young, he is not. Although I'd argue he's as prolific. Like if you look at the Pumpkins discography, like he definitely checks a lot of boxes. But like anyway, that's aside from the point. Cinnamon Girl is in. All right, Brian.
All right, I'm gonna start with one of my favorite songs. I think it's one of the. I don't think Neil intended it this way, but it became one of the greatest like jam band songs of all time. If you're a guitar band, if you're a jam band, then you play this song. I think made famous with a 20-minute version by Built to Spill. Cortez the Killer.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey.
Yeah, I mean that's a grand slam.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I mean, I gravitate towards Neil's jam stuff, so that was easy.
Yeah. Have you ever heard the version from Built to Spill?
No, not the Built to Spill.
Amazing. It's 20 minutes. It's on like their live album. It's on Spotify, and it doesn't feel like 20 minutes. Like it's freaking amazing.
This was one I placed as like the third I was going to play because it made my list and like 3 people answered it. So I was like, okay, I'm on to something with this one. So, Cortez the Killer gets all the way through. Find it on my list. And
that is one song when I see Dave Matthews for the first time this summer that I hope he does.
Yeah, Dave Matthews did a cover of it to it.
Yeah, I think it's a staple of the set for sure.
Yeah. He plays it once in a while. It's usually when Warren Haynes is around.
Okay.
All right. Cortez the Killer gets in. We're at 2. A couple of my top choices are gone. I'll go with the other song that I heard and was like, yeah, this one's on my list. I've got it listed as my number 2. And it is something that came up. It is one of the songs that Randy has already brought up. It is one of the songs that Randy added like at the last minute. Winter Long.
Oh no, I didn't take Winter Long.
I don't have it.
I do not have it.
Oh,
that's a song the Pixies play that live a lot, actually.
Bend. Okay. All
Great
right.
song.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of that, I feel.
That was Winter Long is in my bonus tier, but I can't save you on that.
All right, Randy.
Let's bring in After the Gold Rush songs now. I bought that record when I was pretty young, and I bought the vinyl of it when I was just starting to get into vinyl when I was like 20 or so, and that's before it started to boom again. So I was at like this record store, and I think it was Ocean City, and I looked at it, I saw it, and it had this song on it, and I didn't really know the other songs on this album. I knew one other song that was kind of more of a hit, but I knew this song, and I bought the album because I really loved this song. Only Love Can Break Your Heart.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, I got it.
I do not.
Hey, we take it 3 there.
I didn't expect 3, so that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So.
That's also one that I got as an answer.
Good.
So
it means they got taste.
We take a 3 there, and we move on. Patrick.
I am going to go to one of the Ditch albums, and I'm going to take Tonight's the Night.
No.
No.
Nope. No, I don't have it. That was a tough.
You guys
cut.
are all crazy.
Maybe, but
no,
maybe,
you are.
Maybe Neil should have wrote like less good songs. I don't know.
Yeah.
See, the problem with the way I made my cuts is I can't tell you what was on my first pass and where it dropped out. Like, there's going to be a handful I'll go, oh, man, yeah, I definitely had that one till late. I don't know where that one dropped out, unfortunately. So, welcome to the bin, friend. Brian.
All right, I mentioned it during the intro. One of my favorite albums by him. It's also a Ditch album, and my favorite song off the album. It fit at the times in the 70s. It fits in the time today. Revolution Blues.
Yes.
No.
No. Take it to
there.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure. I know I just said I can't tell you where things dropped out, but I'm pretty sure that was on my first pass. So, and it gets a 2, and we go around to me. I'll try an On the Beach song before I get back to like my order. How about Walk On?
Late cut. Don't have it.
Yeah, that's in my bonus tier, late cut.
But Brian did, right?
All right.
So we'll take it.
Yeah, I had it, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not in the bin. That's good. At this point, it's still alive with 2.
True.
All right. Randy? I mean, there's still plenty of gameplay left, so.
All right. I feel like we need a big song now.
Yeah, very big ones yet.
Yep. I'm going to take my favorite Neil Young song, and I think maybe my favorite chorus of any song of all time. I lose it when I hear it. It's Cowgirl.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody. Yeah.
Everybody but me. Okay.
Yeah. 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'll go in the top. That's fine.
Yeah.
Come on. Was that one Harvest? No.
No, it's on Everybody Knows It's Nowhere.
Everybody knows.
Okay, there it is at the end. I see it. I will say again, that is one I know I don't know where it dropped out, but I know I had it on my first pass. I know that doesn't help, but
no, it means it got to you. So
yeah,
it doesn't help if it was a 2 or a 1. Then yeah, that wouldn't help. But since it was a 3, well, we'll cut you some slack.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're good.
All right, Patrick.
You just didn't know. That's all.
I didn't know. Nope.
You just didn't know better.
I'm gonna stay away from my top 10 at the moment because everything has just gotten sideways. So I'm gonna go into my second 10, and I'm gonna throw out off of On the Beach, Ambulance Blues.
Yeah.
Another good one. I did not take it.
I don't have that one.
I'll save you.
Oh, I was surprised. I'm surprised by that. I thought you would.
I took Revolution Blues, so I was like, but I don't know. I had to pick one or the other. Trust me, I would have taken the whole album if I could.
It gets a 2. It gets to hang out. All right, Brian?
All right. I guess this is a big one because it was I think it was a radio song. And then there's 2 versions of it, so we'll see how this splits up. If some people have one version, some people have the other version. Maybe we just count them. There's an acoustic version, and there's like a grungy version. I took the grungy version. Hey Hey My My.
They are separate. Yes.
Yeah.
I took the grungy version as well, and I did it for a reason. But does anybody else have it or
No?
No.
Okay. Yeah, that was my link to, especially because that was the last song on Rust Never Sleeps, and Devo's inclusion, like that's a huge, for me that's pretty big. But that's his way of the gateway into what's really going to become late 80s. Like that could be on Freedom or Ragged Glory.
Ragged Glory, yeah. Fits right in.
Here's what I hate.
Johnny Rotten. Johnny Rotten is one of the greatest music videos of all time, too.
Here's what I hate is not having reasons, but there just isn't, there just isn't here. So I don't have reasons. I'm going to go with my song that's listed at number 3. It is one that came up several times when I asked the internet. So maybe one or two of you got it. How about Look Out for My Love?
I don't have it, no.
No.
Yeah, it's a great one, but that's on my bonus tier.
Bend. All right. I haven't hit the bend too much, but that's all right. Randy.
Oh, it's back to me already. Dang. Okay. Oh man, I don't know what I want to do here. Okay, let's go with Like a Hurricane.
Yeah.
That is in my second tier, yes.
I don't have it. I realize I got that one a lot. And were I a person who is welcoming the extra work, I would have figured out a way to get it in, but I did not. So
all right.
Gets a 3.
That's fine. Yeah. As long as it gets 3, then you're off the hook.
Yeah. All right.
It's not as big of a disaster as I thought it would be.
No. I was more optimistic. But I don't think we've hit any of the big ones from Harvest yet. So I don't think we've mentioned the big ones.
Yeah, there's been a little bit of hesitance there. I'm gonna break that up because I'm incredibly interested to see about this. So I'll pick one of my 2 that ended up in my top 10 from Harvest, and I'll go with Heart of Gold.
Yeah, I got it.
That's a no. That's a no from me.
Wow.
Is that 3?
That is 3.
Yeah, 3.
All right, we'll take a 3 there.
Yeah. Again, like I said, I put it in on the spinning wheel and spun it round and round and round, and it did not land on that.
Gotcha.
Completely random. Yep. No real reason, no real rhyme. Sometimes you got to make choices. So.
Yeah.
All right, Brian.
All right. This is another like radio hit. But it's just so powerful the way it's sung, what it means and everything. I feel like you gotta have it. Southern Man.
No.
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 Wow.
Oh.
What?
That's a tough one.
Bruh!
That's a tough one to do that to.
Southern Man?
I'm so sorry. You know why I didn't take it? I thought I had enough from After the Gold Rush. That's the only reason. I was just trying to do variety.
This song basically created Leonard Skinner's career.
Yeah,
It's true. Yeah.
essentially, yep.
They were so mad.
Oh, sorry, Brian. We let you down.
You let Neil down.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go. I've listed as 9. It's early on, and it kind of did the thing for me, even though it doesn't technically do the thing. How about The Loner?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
It's on my bonus tier, but
Oh, all right. I'll take a 3.
3's good.
Yeah. Okay.
The Loner.
All right. Randy?
He was singing about a car, by the way.
when wasn't he?
Well, I was about to say it was the follow-up to Long May You Run. He needed to write a song after that because he didn't have a car anymore.
Nice.
I'm going to take what I think should be a lock for the top 10, but I don't even know. Needle in the Damage Done.
Yeah.
No, it's in my bonus tier.
That was like 21, 22. And I got that as an answer like towards when I was already done. Had I gotten it as an answer towards the beginning when I was still putting my list, I probably would have just kept it in. So that's
a tough one to have as a 2.
Yeah.
One that probably should be fought for.
Oh, there's another.
Well, you're fighting already. I mean,
I predicted that this would be a fight.
Yeah,
we all did.
And I mean, it's gonna be because there's just gonna be a lot of open space that we're gonna get to play with. Because I mean, I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think. Yeah, 8 or 9. So I mean, we've still got a good couple rounds in us. We can still kind of hit the stride, but it doesn't feel like there's that many out there. I mean, who knows? Patrick, where you want to go?
I think we should hit on one more unanimous, but
yeah, I'm hoping that this one is going to be at least a 3, if not unanimous. But Down by the River.
Yeah, I got it.
That's in for me. All right, good.
Okay.
Good. I didn't want to go into it, be like, is this going to end up making it? Is it not? I'm glad this one's in.
I was this is a song I was listening to before we came on. I was like, oh, thank God I have this. Like I don't have to. I don't have to do.
That's my number 2 overall.
Wow.
Is this Neil's best solo?
It's the best song that he ever wrote, hallucinating in a hospital bed. I mean,
love that.
I thought that was the whole Everybody's Rockin' album.
Well, that could have been too. I mean, you have to take it for what it's worth. I mean, that's what he describes it as. If you read the liner notes, it's a decade. The way he describes it is that he was having some sort of hallucination episode when he was ill. But, you know, Neil has embellished before, so who knows?
All the best do. All right, boom. Just like that, we're at 3. So we're at Randy's 3. We can only go up from here.
I'd love to have that number.
Yeah.
I would love to have this pick, I should say.
Yeah. Brian, where you want to go?
Oh, Jesus Christ. How about Pocahontas?
No. Couldn't find room.
Can't save you, brother.
I got 2 strikes in a row. All right, I gotta work on this.
Pick better songs.
Pocahontas is a classic.
It is. It's just it's hard to fit into like when I'm thinking about like giving somebody a top 10, it's different. Like I get why you'd pick it. It's not a song that I don't like. That's not it at all.
Yeah.
It's just it's a hard one to fit into. Hey, let me introduce you to this guy.
All right. Well, I have this one listed as my 10th, and like everything else will kind of be, we'll figure it out as we go. How about Old Man?
Nope.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, all right. I'll take a 3 there.
That was another one. It didn't land.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. One of the handful that I recognized, I should say, because I'm sure there's more that I'd heard and just didn't clock other than Cinnamon Girl, of course. All right, we take another 3 there. And Randy.
Oh, I'm almost dreading this because it's kind of like I don't know if I should play like a song that I think we're all going to get together on because honestly, like I don't want us to all have a 4 song. So maybe I just play something a little more random. And that's what I'm going to do, actually. This is going to be the last of the 5 songs that I have off of Everybody Knows This Is Nowhere. This is just a song that resonates with me and maybe only me, but I mean, it's such a fun song. The Losing End.
I don't have that.
No.
As predicted.
I didn't think it would go anywhere. That's why I took it, because it's what I don't have anything to lose right now.
Yeah.
Playing to win the spot. Again, it's like curling. You're trying to stay on the button.
It's true.
All right, Patrick.
Way to stay topical.
All right, I've played a couple of easy ones, so I should go into my second tier just to keep the drama moving. And within that, I'm gonna pull one out from the Comes a Time album, Human Highway.
That was in the conversation, but alas.
No, I don't have it.
No,
That's what I figured.
I can't save you.
That's why it was in my second tier.
You never know. Dang it. Did I scroll past it again? Which album was it?
Comes a Time.
There it is. There it is.
We haven't done a lot from that record.
Yeah. All right. Brian?
All right. Oh, jeez. How about After the Gold Rush?
Yes.
All right.
Oh yeah. Yes.
I cannot bring that to the fore, but
that's fine by me.
Yeah. This went wait. I couldn't believe when you guys were giving low numbers. I'm like, what? No, this is like, but yeah. Wow.
He's got a lot of good songs. Lots of good songs.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
This is not CCR, you know?
Yeah.
CCR
That's
was
true. Yeah, CCR in Boston, like we got like
right.
We knew the
Built
deal.
up that list.
Yeah, we knew the deal.
Jacket ended up being like that too. We ended up, despite the amount of albums, we actually got a quick consensus on that, which was
That actually surprised me.
Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think at this point we just do one more round and then we'll do the dump out.
Fine.
4.
I don't know about this. I don't know about any of these ones. Nobody. I didn't get these as an answer. There's one from Harvest that I could do. I'll just go one that found me. How about Don't Cry No Tears?
That was one of the last ones I added today.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't have it.
I'll take a 2 on something I wasn't sure about.
That's really solid too. Yeah.
it is.
All right, Randy.
The only reason why I took that over, what did I take that over again? Oh God, I can't even remember. It was. I woke up this morning. That was the first song that came into my head. So I'm like, all right, well, that's a way to end a conversation right there.
Yeah.
Man, there's a lot of these that I have left that like I don't want to like use as like, oh man, as kind of like my rundown to be like, does anybody have this? Anybody have this? But this one that I'm looking at right here is one of my favorites. It's also, I feel like there's not enough like legit country stuff. So I'm gonna play Comes a Time.
I do have that. That's in my second tier.
Oh, is that another 3, eh? Because I do not.
I'll take it.
Yeah. All right. So much to scroll through. Boom, boom, and boom. All right, Patrick.
So I'm going to play one of my last 2 remaining in the top 10 that I have because I'm fearful that both of them are not going to be there, but I'm not going to do my number 1. I'm going to do what was my number 4, and that's The Old Laughing Lady.
Nope.
No.
Yeah.
I wish I had, and I know that was on my first pass. I know that's not saying much because, like I said, I think it was like 50 songs. So, but it definitely made my first pass. Just kind of was one of those ones I just tossed away just because I had to. All right, Bryan.
All right. How about For the Turnstiles?
Oh, great song, and they couldn't find a way.
I don't have it.
Yeah.
All right. Let me shake this down, and we'll see if there's any way to get us to Patrick's 4 before.
There's still great songs out there, and songs that I don't have that are great songs that are out there.
Yeah,
I don't think we're gonna get to 4 unless it's something of magic that happens to be in my second tier because I know my number 1 based on the responses. Nobody else is gonna have.
All right, I'm gonna start at the top here. Last Trip to Tulsa.
No.
I do have that.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
that's my number 9 in the second tier. That is my arguably, and you're gonna say what? This makes no sense. One of my favorite Neil songs, but I just don't think it's a hard one to introduce people to Neil, but it is a great song.
Wow. Well, I mean,
And I saw it live at the Paramount Theater in Madison Square Garden in 1999. That was the first time I encountered it, and I immediately went out and bought the Neil Young album LP, which I will actually be sharing with Justin as the picture for this episode because that was like a huge moment for me.
That's cool. I like that there's a story with it. It's something I thought for sure was going in the bin the way this is gone. So, all right. Don't Let It Bring You Down.
Yes,
I do have that as well.
I don't have that.
Okay.
Oh, that's a very solid 3.
All right. Going to Harvests. We'll see if Randy's random hit this song. I've got the title track, Harvest.
Yes, that was an automatic from that record.
Nope.
Is that 3 or 4?
That was a 3.
That's a 3. I do not have it.
Okay.
Close.
All right.
3 is good.
Yeah, it looks
3
like
is very good.
We might hold on there. A couple left here. World on a String.
Nope.
Yep.
No, I don't have that.
I thought for sure that all of these were going to get binned. So like I'm happy that I'm finding anybody on these.
I'm out.
Okay. All right. So
okay.
I'm out.
Good for you.
That's it.
that means,
All right, I win.
Yeah,
Randy's
Randy's
got it.
3's gonna hold on. All right, let me circle that. I got a couple left here.
Way to go, Randy.
Come on, baby, let's go downtown.
Nope.
No.
All right. And last but not least, Bite the Bullet.
Nope.
No, that's a good one though, but no, I didn't take that one.
All right. So
Yeah, I think that one made it to the second tier.
All right. So as we mentioned, Randy's 3 is going to hold out. Randy, you can make these 2s a little heavier. What you got left?
All right, so the one song that won off of Harvest, and one of the points that I was gonna bring up when you guys picked Last Trip to Tulsa, is that we can basically do a geography map of all songs and states that Neil has wrote about, because he pretty much, for a Canadian, he is spread the whole entire United States and wrote about every single territory. So the winner of that was Alabama. Do you have Alabama?
No.
Alrighty. And then this one I think you might have. This is my last one, Sugar Mountain.
Yes, that is my number one.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Hey.
Alrighty.
Hey, look at that. Boom and boom, a number 2. And then these will, unfortunately for you, Patrick, go right into the bin. But what do you got left?
These are all in my second tier, so I don't feel terrible about them. And there's only 3, but Out on the Weekend from Harvest.
Yeah, tough
hold back. Yeah, Hold Back the Tears from American Stars and Bars, which is just incredible backing vocals from Linda Ronstadt. And then On the Beach from On the Beach.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very solid.
Dang it. I keep scrolling back past these songs. There's Hold Back the Tears. And then On the Beach was the last one, right?
Yep.
There's just so much. Just so much. It's easy to scroll through. All right. Let me shift this. We'll run down what we've got through unanimously, and then we will start the conversation on these 3s and go from there.
I'm surprised nobody took the other version of Hey Hey My My.
Yeah, me too.
It was on my first pass. I don't have a reason for why it didn't make it, but it was on my first pass. All right, the 3 that got in already are Cinnamon Girl, Cortez the Killer, and Down by the River. So we're off to a good start. Let's look at these 3s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, boy. All right, I've already got it set for 3, so shit, never mind. I can't do that. We have 21 still available in the conversation. So let me run down these 3s. Powderfinger, Only Love Can Break Your Heart, Cowgirl in the Sand, Like a Hurricane, Heart of Gold, The Loner, Old Man, After the Gold Rush, Comes a Time, Don't Let It Bring You Down, and Harvest. I believe when it came up, Randy, you said Cowgirl in the Sand is one of the ones.
Let's just put it in.
Okay.
Let's just put it in. Yeah, I'm not even going to ask. I'm going to demand. And
We're not gonna mince
that's
words
not what
here.
I'm going to use as my final say.
Yeah. All right, so then if we're taking that, we still have 5 spots before we get to Randy's final say. Are all of these picks going to come from the 3s? Have we essentially killed off these 2s?
I may take something from the 2s.
Okay, so
if you want to pick from the 3s here, then do it. I feel like there's something in the 2s that needs to be on the list, but if you guys decide on your own that should be in without me, then I might take something from the 3s.
Okay, so let's start with Patrick. Is there a song when I ran down those 3s? Now Cowgirl in the Sand is in. Is there one that's kind of jumping out at you as like, man, that really, really should have been in?
Boy, this is tough because it is not a small list, but I think it's impossible to make a list of Neil's top 10 and not have Heart of Gold in.
All right.
Can I throw a stipulation in?
Okay. Stipulate.
If we take Heart of Gold, I don't think we need Old Man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's one or the other. I would agree.
Okay, I'm fine putting it in. I think I would pick Heart of Gold too.
Okay.
All right. Sounds like everybody's on board. So we will grab Heart of Gold, and we are laying down Old Man.
And for my final say, it's going to be Old Man. Oh, what?
All right. So that brings us up to 6. Yeah, no, 5 rather. 5. Brian, is there one that's kind of jumping out at you?
Yeah, I'm having regrets on Powderfinger.
Okay.
Put it in.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah,
Boom.
I'm good with that. Even though that was in my second tier, I can't
Yeah.
argue that. That's a freaking great song. There's electric versions, there's acoustic versions, there's alternate versions. It's a great one, and I probably should have had it in my top 10. I just think I was being greedy about the electric stuff. So,
So that brings us up to 6. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 7 left still in these 3s. I mean, do we want to make it easier? I mean, this is a tough question, but do we want to make it easier and see what doesn't belong, Patrick? Like, is there one of these 3s that you're like, man, it's awesome, but like, I don't think it belongs in this 10?
boy. Yeah. I'm gonna have to go with, because we've been heavy on some of the Crazy Horse electric. As much as this hurts, I think if we're gonna pull back one of the 3s, let's pull back Like a Hurricane.
Oh, that does hurt, but I think you're not.
But I'm
wrong.
making it's a persuasive argument. I'm not saying it's a
Okay.
bad song. I'm just saying it's number 11.
Let's lower tier it. Let's not say completely
Yeah.
eliminate it.
Yeah, we'll put a
But-
pin in it.
All right.
Yeah.
Pin in that
I'm
one.
not gonna say no. I can't.
Yeah. All right. Similarly, Brian, is there one that you're looking at that's like, it's probably just happy to be here at this point?
No. Maybe Harvest, but no,
you gotta
because
have-
I think because we also gotta have. I feel like we gotta have After the Gold Rush. I feel like we got The Loner, which is the only representation we have, I think, of that album, right? I believe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We have no rep of On the Beach, which is sad.
Yeah.
All right.
We don't
Well,
have any 3s there. They're
As-
all 2s.
yeah, as you're working through this, this is a good time to bring that up. Is album representation important here? Like, it's nearly impossible to do because of the scope of what we covered.
Yeah, it is kind of impossible. And like I said, like we said, this is one of the Ditch albums, and it didn't really get critical acclaim until like later in its year. When people were, oh no, this is fucking fantastic. I don't know.
The other problem with On the Beach is that it's not that every single one of the songs would be hard to get a consensus on.
Yeah.
Like the album itself is absolutely fantastic. It is my favorite Neil Young album, but I'm not surprised that there wasn't consensus on it.
Right. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. It's one of those that you could just take the whole album and put it on there and just say, this is what you should listen to.
Yep.
I don't know. Maybe Only Love Can Break Your Heart.
To lay down, or
but then we gotta have After the Gold Rush.
If that's I mean, we're looking at here album representation of what we have in the 3s. We have 3 songs that are in the top 10 that are everybody knows this is nowhere. We only have 1 Harvest, we have 1 Rust Never Sleeps, and we have 1 Zuma. We're not getting another Zuma. We might get another Rust Never Sleeps. Can we? No, I guess we can't. We definitely need something from After the Gold Rush.
Yeah.
So is that an either or?
I would argue that if we're taking there's a couple that are still on the table for After the Gold Rush. I think there's 2 that are there's 3 that are 3s, and if I was taking between the 3 of those, I would agree with Brian that Only Love Can Break Your Heart is the one that would go.
sad realization, but I like, I might abstain from my opinion on that and just say I love both songs equally. So, but yeah, After the Gold Rush is really, really good.
So
but where does that leave Don't Let It Bring You Down?
Right.
Right up at the top, baby. Right at the top.
I know.
That's my number 12 song, but I mean it's I don't know. I just feel like of those three, the two that should be within the debate sphere are After the Gold Rush and Don't Let It Bring You Down.
Yeah. I'm fine because let's see, that would be the number 7. Like I think putting in a Gold Rush song in now should be the priority. And After the Gold Rush feels like it can and should be on the list. So do you guys want to make that happen? And then Don't Let It Bring You Down will still be part of the conversation for the next 3 that we got to pick.
All right. Yep. Everybody is on board with After the Gold Rush going in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So let's do that. And what does that bring us up to? 7?
7.
Okay. All right. So now we have a little bit of album representation taken care of. Is this where we're looking at dropping Like a Hurricane for reasons before? Are we looking at, because we have the Loner from the Neil Young record? We also have Comes a Time from Comes a Time. If we're looking at
I kind of want to fight for that because that's his most country song that's left on this list, and it represents something that we just don't have.
Yeah.
Heart of Gold is kind of country too, but that's folk country. Like Comes a Time is like, that is deep South country, or at least like, Kentucky.
Yeah, if I was forced to choose between Comes a Time and Like a Hurricane, as much as I love the American Stars and Bars album, and it won't have place on this, American Stars and Bars also fits in that same sort of category, even almost weirder than On the Beach, because there's like 5 different versions of it of that album that were made over the years, and it's sort of a cult classic. Comes a Time would be the one that I would take, and I would push out Like a Hurricane.
All right. So I was the odd man out there. Yeah. So let's do that.
Brian, you agree with that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I concur.
Okay. Awesome.
All right. So that brings us up to 8, and let's get our number 9 here. Now, like, is this just best song available?
It could be.
What do we got? The Loner. Again, we're bringing up that conversation of, is it representation? Because the Loner's still sitting there. Don't Let It Bring You Down, still hanging out, and Harvest. If you had a choice between those 3, Patrick, which one would it be?
You have to have something from his first album. So like for me, even though the Loner was on like my bonus tier, it was outside of the top 20. I don't think you could not have his essentially debut not represented.
Mm-hmm.
So I would go with the Loner.
What do you think, Brian?
Yeah, I'm fine with Loner.
All right. And I mean, technically, you're going to get a final say anyway, Randy.
Yeah.
But you had the Loner?
Yes, I did. Don't Let It Bring You Down not being on the list hurts a little bit. Harvest not being on the list hurts a little bit, but like,
I think that was always going to be the case.
I'll live to see another day. Cool.
I think, kind of what we were saying at the beginning, that was always going to be the case. There was going to be like 2 or 3 threes here that you guys were going to be like, I can't believe that didn't make it. So,
yeah.
All right. That brings us to Randy's number 10. And, you know the rules. As long as it's a Neil Young song that, preferably one that I listen to, but
that's going to be Rockin' in the Free World. Yeah. All right. I'm going to run down the line. So it's Everybody Knows This Is Nowhere. Great song. And probably, if it made 3, would have had more of a conversation. That's not going to be the one I pick. Revolution Blues, as much as I want to represent On the Beach, it just falls a little bit short. Walk On and Ambulance Blues, the same story there. Hey, Hey, My, that's a grunge representative here, but the thing with that one is I'm still going to fight for a part 2. So I'm not against leaving it out because, we might get that sound in a different episode. Don't Cry, No Tears, Happy to Be Here, Last Trip to Tulsa, and World on a String, the same. Sugar Mountain, good song. I think it just misses. I think the strongest one in this bunch that I was actually really surprised that was not at least a 3 is Needle in the Damage Done. I think you cannot make a list of Neil Young songs without that being on it. So that's my pick.
All right. Let me mark that. I'll run this down. Final say. If I could spell, that would probably help. Final has 1 L, Justin. And then I'll shift this up, read it down, and we'll close up shop here. Rather agreeable. I feel like, there was some tough discussions there, but I feel like we came to decisions pretty quickly.
Well, we didn't get to the hardest conversation yet.
Yeah, I know, right? All right, so we've got, here's our 10: Cinnamon Girl, Cortez the Killer, Down by the River, Cowgirl in the Sand, Heart of Gold, Powderfinger, After the Gold Rush, Comes a Time, The Loner, and The Needle and the Damage Done rounds out our 10. I read those 10 to you, Randy. Is there one that's jumping out at you as the one?
Chomping at the bit, because yes, there absolutely is a the one. I don't know if we're agreeing, but this is my statement here. I don't think it should be a surprise to anybody that's been listening for the last hour or so. Cowgirl in the Sand.
All right. What do you think, Patrick? Is it Cowgirl in the Sand?
Whether you bond over streaming binge-worthy videos, watching sports recaps, video gaming, or by unplugging altogether, the 2026 Lincoln Nautilus Hybrid helps keep you connected throughout your journey. Learn more at Lincoln.com. Available connectivity features and functionality vary by model. Package pricing, trials, and term lengths vary by model. Video streaming and games are only available while parked.
It's Down by the River.
Ooh.
Whoa. Wow. That's a heavyweight battle for the ages. Damn. Brian, can you break a tie? Or do you want to throw something else in the mix?
No, I was going to say Cortez.
Oh, shit.
I was going to say Cortez, and then between the two you guys said, I have no idea. I don't know. Justin?
Yeah. So, I mean, what do we want to do here? So the easy way out is Down by the River was unanimous, right?
Yeah.
The next layer to that conversation is, as I told you guys, Cowgirl in the Sand was really close for me. So and you guys had said it was the one that we immediately put in once we got to that layer of the conversation. So I think, I'm glad Cortez the Killer made this list because obviously I liked it. I don't think that one does the trick as our number one. I do think it's between Down by the River and Cowgirl in the Sand.
I actually think Cortez has an argument because of kind of what Brian was saying before. So many bands have gone on to cover that song, and it's kind of been like this jam theme for him that it's not a horrible selection at all. I mean, this is a triple threat match in their prime of Hulk Hogan, Cena, and The Rock all facing at the main event at WrestleMania. That's what this is.
Cortez is not the number one, though. I would be persuaded to go, as much as I want it to be Down by the River, I would be persuaded to go Cowgirl first.
Here's the thing. If you had the chorus of Cowgirl with the solo of Down by the River, you'd have the greatest song on the planet.
Oh, yeah.
And that would be easily the pick.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, if I had to, so if I had to rank them, I think, because that's what we usually end up doing is just rank them. I mean, so maybe I'm putting too much of my heart as Cortez like song. But then you got the River Cowgirl. Jesus Christ. I don't know. I would say we're almost at flip a coin.
Yeah, it'd have to be a 3-sided coin, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, you say that, but let's not discount Patrick said it is not Cortez the Killer.
Yeah. He's probably right, although like I see an argument for it. I think that Down by the River would be my 2 of these 3.
Yeah.
So what do we want to put weight on here?
It's got to be one of the songs off of. So everybody knows This Is Nowhere or the alternate non-Crazy Horse version of Neil, which is Harvest. That is Neil Young.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is like what he encompasses. It has to be one of the 2 from Everybody Knows This Is Nowhere. So I would go with Cowgirl in the Sand. It has to be one of these songs that Danny Whitten was involved in. I mean, this is the essence of the DNA of Neil Young.
All right. So
I will stand behind Cowgirl in the Sand because obviously it's my favorite song. So.
And I will bow because you also picked 3 as the number that we would get to from consensus.
Well, I already got my reward for that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to make peace so that we're not on until midnight discussing this.
This is not the Yellow Ledbetter conversation.
Yeah. It's not as heated at least. So yeah, all right.
No.
I'm with it. Let's go with Cowgirl in the Sand. Like, I was at coin flip from the jump. So Cowgirl in the Sand is going to be our number 1. I'll run this down one last go and we'll get on out of here. Cowgirl in the Sand's our number 1. Cinnamon Girl, Cortez the Killer, Down by the River, Heart of Gold, Powderfinger. After the Gold Rush comes a time, The Loner, The Needle in the Damage Done rounds out our 10. With that, let's let Cowgirl in the Sand get a moment in the sun. It's so bad that Discord won't let you guys hear the song. All right, we have done it. Maybe you were already a Neil Young fan and you're just sitting there yelling at us the whole time. Maybe that's the case. It's possible. It may even be probable. Maybe you aren't. Maybe you never listened to them. Hey, now you got 10 songs to check them out. You got a nice short list. Give it a listen and see how we did and see if you get into them. Hey man, we're a podcast, of course. Maybe you think you can do better. Maybe you want to come be on the show. Check the liner notes there. You can click on, if you want to play, it takes you to a sign-up sheet. Let me know who you want to talk about. Boom. Just like that. Easier way to do that, I'll say this, is if you would like to pledge $1, patreon.com/oh hi Justin. You do get the conversation we're about to have after the fact. You get deprogrammed before the rest of the world, but it also gets you an automatic invite into the Discord server, the Legion of Stupid Discord. Plops you right into our general chat. There's all sorts of stuff going on. Not limited to, there is a deprogram channel. You jump in there, and there's a finding panelist channel. You go on that and say, hey, I want to talk about this band. Anybody want to talk about this band with me? Just like that. And we will work on getting you on an episode, and you can come argue about songs until midnight, because we didn't get there, just so you know. It is not midnight, but we did go long. Sometimes it happens. Hey, so that's all the Patreon stuff. You can join the Legion of Stupid Discord by asking for a link if you don't want to pledge $1. It's okay, man. I get it. Times is tough. Also, though, we are a podcast. Subscribing, rating, commenting, those are all great ways that you can help us be seen in the algorithm. That's a great way to help us. As I said, sharing is caring. But honestly, the best way that you can help me is by telling somebody that you listen to the show. Hey, I listen to Deprogrammed, and you should too. And with that, Neil Young, learn them and love them, people. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.